and welcome back to Age of Empires 4 with me, Camzit. We're gonna continue on with the Norman campaign and mission 9, the Siege of Rochester. Now, King John clung to the throne, but the cost would be a bloody battle against his own people. So we have done quite a lot of missions, and in my opinion still the Wallingford mission was one of the hardest. The rest were debatable. Well, not debatable, I mean they were still hard, but you know, I think Wallingford and Lincoln were one of the hardest. So yeah, let's just continue on, because afterwards Lincoln and the Norman campaign shall be completed.
In the year prior to the defence of Dover, King John's defiance of the Magna Carta had mired England in a rebellion known as the First Barons' War. Across England, barons broke ties with the crown and seized important cities, including Rochester. With his reign under threat, John deployed his forces to retake Rochester and capture the traitors.
Exactly, the castle at Rochester had fallen to rebel control. King John had to lay siege against his own barons. Let's see how that will go.
King John's men arrived at the outskirts of Rochester, set to retake the castle and drive out the rebel barons within. But Rochester was a formidable fortress that protected the route to London, and the rebel barons were prepared to lay down their lives to hold it. Before King John's men could hope to retake the castle, they would need to reinforce their position by capturing the village of Chatham.
Let's go then.
The king's men secured Chatham and began preparing for an arduous siege. Rochester's keep was protected by strong stone walls. The king's army would need mighty siege weapons to break through.
See they to work.
See they to work. What needeth be undone, yare to done some work.
Beoth yard to Hestus ton folk.
Hey, every John, intended.
Hearkeneth aller. If he'll have you, that's what needeth be undone.
God swinker it be made.
See they to work her. In he'll build they that for they. This shula who do they made.
I mean, now we can also try to advance to the next age, but I'll need some more resources here. I'll continue making more
What
food.
needeth be undone? What wilt thou? See they to work. He can have it that he building it on.
And I'll try to create a scout here.
Ich be boon to hear.
Well, the sacred site is ours.
Arita, what needeth work?
Scout, ready to read.
Send the man to me now, kiss. You're right to done some work. Yeah, so we they hate it. He could build it that for they.
Give me a weather building. Begin this ahead. Held the net. Stirende.
See thing to work at. You'll then do that right to know.
Cosa isa I camonte fara.
Nice, we found a relic too.
Bunti sua pemben.
Aye.
Wider sul each ridende for.
Halinas liten.
Cosa isa ridende for. Ja. Held the net. Stirende nu. I camonte fara.
And take them each near it not.
Wider sul verende suahet.
I mean, I also need to make a temple then. Here.
Build ende that Rita knew.
What need to see thing to work at?
That's good.
Give them held the net.
Stay on!
Fin esta, yes. Cheer.
Next, move it! Get it busy!
Scout to end me duty.
What needeth be undone?
What needeth be undone?
Scouter, you ready to read? Alrita, God's ridende forth.
Kempen hernende mina men.
Ich be
Right.
boon to
Capture
hear.
this.
These had that well have it done.
Yari to dump
needeth
the
be
rende
undone?
sue ahead.
Let's start
It
building
will
some
build
siege
that for
weapons and
they.
all. I mean, it's really important to do so anyway.
thing to
So
work
we'll just
at.
start building on some more settlement thingies. Some more thingy,
Marita,
you know,
well,
stuff,
I
whatever.
think they
Let's also get stone.
King John's forces were struck by a raiding group of rebels sallying from the castle.
Give me hest, rende suahet. Each a will.
Boon to hear. Me way is clear.
See things to work.
Harken het, see thing to Ferranuta every...
Kusuri saddle, small wende the hesta.
What wilt thou? Thy will be done.
Ari, he'll do that new. Build ende that Rita knew.
Is there ready, crossbow and Hestes Kosua?
Boon to hear.
Me God! Bull Halid!
You can make a trophy like this. That's good.
Wider sulichka. Ridende forth.
What wilt thou? Farende subbo.
Nice. Some of those lunar people be.
Tunfolk aren't ready.
Good.
Yari to done some work. Yari to done some work.
Leave him alone.
Ich be boon to hear.
Wider sulichka. I camonte fara.
I mean, there's a treasure
They can
here.
do
Quick.
that.
Capture it.
Yeah.
I'll be able to capture that land soon.
See fate's a worker. If he'll have that he building a knob. It he'll build a that for they.
Kempis, move it, get it busy.
What needeth
Right,
be
can I build
undone?
this? No, not yet.
Yari,
A
don't-
little bit. Let's just solve it stone then.
Tunfolk aren't ready.
And now we can build it. Produce wing guard army from landmark. Army includes one each medicals, spearman. Okay, acts as a key. We have technology, bonus, cost, break shot, better weapon range, and double number of arrow slits.
This
Yeah,
shooter
wing guard
will
palace is
do
always
they
good,
may.
but this one too. You know, greater weapon range, and no, let's just do wing guard. I'll always be able to recruit some more troops, no
What
problem.
will yes? Issue.
Okay.
Ich be boon to hear.
Right. Attack again. Right, right.
Scout held the net. Stirende nu.
Shit, this.
King John's men came to St. Margaret's Monastery. Although the monks would not take sides,
Wider sul
they would provide medical care for wounded soldiers. The local market was also open to trade with Chatham.
Chatham, come here. At least 5 of these traders would be useful. Wait, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 should be enough to give us constant trade. No, trade is always useful.
You're right to done some worker. Build end day that Rita new.
Yeah, we need more gold. There's no... Yeah, well, there is. I'll just need to make gold mine here. Slowly we'll work that way. I just need to deliver these annoying sheep into this position.
What needeth be undone?
What needeth be undone?
Hearken it all.
Get out.
Tutto saddle, I Hamonte para.
See thee to work at. Till then they that break the news.
That's it. Let's produce more. I could also make another town center. It would be lovely. How about we create it here?
King John's men discovered that the castle was being resupplied by a stream of traders. They had the opportunity to weaken the rebellion by eliminating the castle's supplies.
Building done. It looketh good.
What needeth be undone?
Now, and Ferende!
Das Jahr. Agrete alunga nu. Ferem.
Cosa I saddle, scouter I ready. Hit well the bell dog.
Bean head.
Bend the head of your beak.
Boon to hear. Sure, Pepe.
Cosa I saddle, ball wende the hester.
And 10 they kill. Ik hier een kat.
Rita, what needeth worker?
Unterbeelden
See
resten!
thee to worker. Ik heel build they that for thee.
Ja, anon Ritter.
Give me hesters! I Hamonte para.
En 10 we aangoende tokens. Beonkette. We're Look at busy Turkish. We are better from and loose.
Villains, he rented us to order end the villains. Ready to go? He always that hit it and built it and
You ready for heading?
And men are butchering my own. Oh well.
Villains, ready and waiting. What needest thou of me? We are waiting for the Hex's villains. A steering to it. He'll get this building he builded for thee.
Ich shall obey.
Has das Pit winner Rengus Belia.
We are gonna be outnumbered now. Shit. That's not good.
Intended. Estes are coming.
If I can quickly build a castle here, we'll be able to hold them back.
We are waiting for the Hex's Ready to go.
Spelman! Fortstanden! Ik wil not be die hesten! Where's the dress now?
Gure, posturen säger omkring. Fara! The Hestes will be obeyed.
The way shall ye the dead bay be thee.
And the rest of what?
We have
All right there, Richard. Fair enough.
Mi spera is thin.
Why should he dress an hour? A short journey for you.
Trappers are beaten! What is this?
Let's make a few more of these
what need a
armies.
sow of meat? Your body has to be there.
And the rest of what is with. Ready to go.
Trackers, the Hestes are here.
burning.
So head moving to Luster.
Okay, we can start
Siege
taking
artillery is
this
moving
thing. Let's stay.
Beckers.
I will charge them in though.
Nu jaume. I obe, vid letter.
The traitors shall die, peasants. I also need more new traitors myself because they killed mine. Freaking bastards.
Parker to has mis.
Spare schulteren and very up.
Kill them all.
Serge engines at the waiting for it.
Once the rest of there at a word, whose thou desirest is.
Yeah, I need more food. Oh, shit.
Hearken thou all. We have a test. You ready for the next worker?
Ready to go. If we'll get this building, he's still
Okay. Press them all. That's it. Oh fuck, here they come.
Arwayman, steer.
Parker Hestes coming on us.
Serge engines at
It's burning anyway, no problem.
Send the bedding
at
in
this.
search of glory.
Vi kan alltid komma. Beckers. Vi obe, and freedom ball.
Nice.
Sir.
Villains, it is team to get things ready to go.
Yeah, you ready for Hestes? And the rest of what is
I'm coming.
Hearken. Yeah, no, we hit it on.
Ready to go.
Training our way down. Your company will be welcome, Freckhead.
Oh shit. Oh wait, no, this one's been...
Himmen shopping to shoot.
Waiting for it. Unchained. Listen!
I mean, I could attack them from... Yeah, let's go.
Getting on the hit.
Let's go from this side. Oh shit, here they are. Hello. Dead. Crush them.
With the traders eliminated, the king's army had struck a blow to the rebels in the castle. With supplies critically low, the rebel commander discharged his weakest fighters, hoping to preserve what little food remained. Fearing further descent against his rule, King John ordered safe passage for the surrendered rebels away from Rochester. The king's men discovered the farmlands that supplied the rebels at Rochester. If the rebels lost access to the food supplies, some of them would be forced to flee.
Anyone trespassing, him is shelter.
Well, Rochester's coming on over.
The food in us! We are on attack in fear!
Pest has come. A short journey for you.
The mark is in Britain.
Peace anew.
Doing the same. What the fear? Get paid out of pool. It will be on your...
What is your word? Andrino, Mispere is thee.
A coin on steering. Dress me. I be there.
I'll leave my men alone, bastard. Let's send me this way now.
Dress me. A word.
I'll just go this way.
Tolkien, glad some tea take work. Get down your gear, our way, man. Drinker, kill not, but
Oh, quickly create some.
A coin and glad.
In a lika big
There's another sacred site.
Who's thou harvest me?
Whereas for Warian voters.
I mean, this is going good.
Ready to go.
Command, obey the word.
Ah, you pricks. Why don't you leave me alone? The armies are crushed anyway.
Intended.
working on it. Test is
Okay,
coming.
we are now.
Ich shall obey. Commandant me. Ich fahre the pass of Reefeasons.
Good a worker, done a Rita. Lockers greater.
I'm gonna make knights and smack these bastards.
Beoclum, it will be done.
Let's go this way, quick.
The Serge engines, team to leave it. Yes. Get in, Boston. Engines are moving.
Looky out, Tulkis.
Foreign men, following the artillery. Obedience to virtue is way.
Hearken to Hestus, young Hestus.
The way shall ye the dead bay be thee will. Commandant, your will is me deed.
Lusten in the gorges. Hevik do.
Kill them.
We tapping out with Fira. Your will is me, Dieter.
That person down.
Help us! Villains, be ready and await.
Who's thou habest me? Pusheth our way, man.
Punch you, boys. Nice. Next, let's destroy that farms.
With the farms alight, King John's chokehold on the rebels was tightening. Cut off from all hope of resupply, more of the rebels were forced to abandon the fight.
Good.
Ah, is Prince engines. Foreign men, following the artillery.
Haven cunning shots. Bannon help.
Send them at force.
Okay, let's just go this way.
Men, bestenken on the
See what we can do.
In a liberty. Nites, your company will be welcome, friends. Ferring is not
Tulkes, any man trespass. Abidet arveive, ora hestens, fotgon su.
Beoclum, rocking.
And we can't get through. Too bad. I mean, we have destroyed most of their towns, so why do they not surrender? It would be wise. Now let's make loads of knights. I love them.
Intendant, there is what your will is me, Dieter.
Oh fuck, of course.
You obey. Peace and because the test has come. He cannot walk away. They hiding at the back.
We are made in shotgunner!
All you ready?
A deacon weaponer! We shall be anywhere!
Rochester's outer wall crumbled to King John's men, and they descended on the keep.
The Serge engine.
A deacon weaponer! Nothing more! Obea, be the next!
Be ready, for the next work.
Hearken, you all.
Harken, you all.
You ready, people?
Intended.
No, what?
Hearken. Nathan is fed out
Oh,
then.
wait, no. Stop.
Intended. Yes, this art come. Well, they just put it up.
Rochester's inner wall finally gave way, and the keep was laid bare for the
The Sir
taking.
John Jins army ready. The Hestus will be obeyed. That one says on Harlequin, moving on James.
Now let's just destroy the Rochester keep.
Getting on with it.
Blasted away.
New young men, attendant. He obey. Bracket, he obey.
Oh shit, fall back.
Este is here.
Front party ready and waiting. It's me on
You fire wise, not attacking, dumbass. Loose. Look, I don't mind, but you're gonna die, dude. Nice.
Sir John Jins and the Hestus will be obeyed.
The great keep at Rochester fell at the hands of the king's army, securing both the castle and the route to London. While the fight for England raged on, a desperate King John clung to the throne.
That's it. Now, the siege of Rochester. After a lengthy siege, the rebels finally surrendered. With Rochester secure, King John controlled the critical route to the capital. Now, medieval paint is the next video we're gonna watch. Let's go.
People often imagine that castle walls were just left as bare stone, but in fact they weren't. They were plastered, painted, and decorated.
The process of making medieval paint begins in a quarry.
This is a sandstone with a really high iron content. In it, we find pockets of ochre. This is iron oxide, like rust, and the ochre is one of the main ingredients in pigment making.
First, the ochre is crushed into a fine powder.
The finer the particles in paint, the better the paint will be.
Once ground up, water is added. Then the mixture is sieved.
This is the exact opposite of making pasta at home. At home, when you sieve your pasta, you then keep it for your meal. Here, what's going to end up in the sieve will be discarding.
What's needed are the tiny particles suspended in the water.
Once it's dry, it's going to look something like this. You can see that all the water has evaporated, leaving just this very fine crust, which will then be ground into the fine pigment which is used to make paint.
But ochre's colour palette doesn't end there. If it's heated, something magical happens. Yellow ochre turns red. And heating it for even longer creates a whole spectrum of colours.
It's been burnt for over 72 hours at 1,000 degrees Celsius, and that gives us this incredible purple colour.
To turn the pigment into paint, it's bound together with egg and tree sap.
A popular motif in the Middle Ages was the use of stones and roses. That's where you paint on blocks of stone to make it look like you could afford to pay stonemasons to produce dress blocks of stone and then decorate them with 5-petaled flowers.
So, medieval castles were far from the gloomy places we imagine today. They were full of colour and light.
Okay, this is really interesting and amazing to see. Really lovely and informative about, you know, the last centuries back. Anyway, after a lengthy... Okay, we have read that. Yeah, this is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new and wish to support it. Do you want to recommend something and record again together as possible as well? Just write down comments box below or join my Discord server so we can have a chit chat about it. Till then, I shall see you guys laters.